for a year, now I'm back on whoever. I got caught up trying to stack up the cheddar. Changing location, that shit on rotation. If you drop a pen, I'ma pop out wherever. Pockets were low, they were light as a feather. I'm piling these papers like writing a letter. Ain't changing my styles, I combine them together. Hop in the booth and I never been better. I never been better. No, I never been better. No, I never been better. I spoke my truth and I never been better. Said I never been better. No, I never been better. No, I never been better. Cut the stack right in half like a slice. They want features but can't pay the price.
So today we're sitting here with the Real Dajohn. This brother is very, very talented. If you haven't heard his library, you need to stop what you're doing and go listen to that right after you listen to this. Believe me, you know what I'm saying? You'll thank me a whole lot more after you're familiar with Bruh. And if you are familiar with Bruh, then you already know you in for a treat. So I got him here. We're gonna go ahead and get started. And let's go ahead and do that. So, could you tell them how old are you right now?
Yeah, so right now I'm currently 21 years old. I just turned 21 years old in November of last year, 2019. And I feel good, 21, it's a weird feeling because, it's not that big of a difference from being 20 or just like, you don't really feel that big of a change, but, I'm starting to get those real life thoughts and, what I'm saying, really setting myself up for the career that I'm trying to go after, you feel me? So I feel good. 21 just might be my year, you feel me?
All right, so how long have you been at your craft at this point?
I'd say I started doing this when I was about 6-7 years old. My pops wrote my first rap for me, and I performed my very first performance in front of maybe like a little less than 100 people at 7 years old. And ever since then, I wanted to perform for people. That's the entire reason that I got into music, was to perform. I love getting on stage, touching the stage. And I started really taking it seriously, according around, I'd say about 10, 11, 12. I started writing my own lyrics for myself. And then I put out my first EP when I was about 13, about to turn 14, called Adolescent Mindset. And that's still out on SoundCloud. Maybe a couple songs might still be out there, I don't know.
All right. How much time do you say you dedicate, you set aside to work on your craft, like weekly, monthly, or is it whenever the urge?
Honestly, I'd say it's definitely whenever I feel creative or whenever I get the spark of inspiration. But I'm honestly working on music from about anywhere to 12 to 16 hours a day, to be honest. Music probably takes up majority of my life. If I'm not writing or conceptualizing the music itself, then I'm listening to instrumentals, or I might even be creative directing. So I'm always doing something with music majority of my life.
100. I'm sure we can understand that. So what would you say is your motivation, and what's your inspiration in those times where you just don't feel like, because we all have those days when you get up in the morning and you just don't feel like being bothered with one thing in particular. But what's that motivation, inspiration that keeps you pressing? Great.
For sure, I think the motivation is, for me, I've always just found music kind of like my own. Like, that's my way of expressing and getting out the emotions and feelings that I don't normally get to express, because I'm kind of just like a quiet person as far as my thoughts. But so my deepest thoughts I kind of put into my music and kind of express that way. So whenever I feel that urge, that's when I go and do that. But even outside of that, it's like, I know when I create, I'm not even just creating for myself. I know I'm creating for the people that are listening. And a lot of people will listen to my music and come back and tell me like, that song that you made really helped me through this, or that song really, gets me happy when I'm sad, or gets me, calms me down when I'm mad or whatever. So I know it's bigger than me, you know what I'm saying? So that sometimes motivates me even more. It's not just about me, like I'm making this music for everybody that it might touch, you feel me?
Sure, for sure. But if you can go back to the beginning of your career with the knowledge that you have now based on all of your experiences, Are there any things that you would whisper to yourself to do differently, or any opportunities that you might not have taken advantage of that you wish you might have taken advantage of?
That is a really dope question, actually. It definitely will always be, moments like that as you grow and you learn things that you weren't aware of. You know what I'm saying? I think now I would definitely go back and tell myself to take constructive criticism more lightly. You know what I'm saying? In my younger days, I used to, whenever getting any type of criticism, whether it be constructive or negative, I would just already just, kind of in one ear out the other, I kind of would brush it off and not really take anything into account. But when you really look at all the criticism that you get, you can find a lot of truth and a lot of helpful tips in there, actually. So I think that would be one of the main things that I would listen to myself. Also, in my younger days, and even still a little bit now, to be honest, I used to allow my fears to hold me back from certain opportunities, or just my fear of looking stupid or not, or little insecurities like that can hold you back from a lot of opportunities if you just, stay true to yourself and be bold and go after it. Sometimes you never know where it can lead you, you know what I'm saying?
I can definitely respect that. And that sounds like a very honest answer, Buff. Let's at this point, let's go back to that first performance, with ERF7. How did you feel before, and how did you feel during and after the performance?
Man, I just remember feeling super nervous about actually doing the performance, but excited. Like, I was definitely determined. It was something that I wanted to do. It's something that I went to my father about, like, yo, Pops, I want to do this talent show. And everybody saying I should rap. And I wasn't a rapper. I couldn't rap. I didn't know how to rap. But my pops was a rapper, back in his day. And so I went to my pops and he was like, all right, like, I'll write this rap for you. But if you're going to do it, then you're going to, stay committed to it and you're going to practice it and you're not going to back out of it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta see it to its fruition. You feel me? So, basically I was definitely determined, but, once you walk on that stage and those eyes on you, you know what I'm saying, it's a whole different feeling. So I definitely felt crazy doing it. There's even actually a video of it, but I felt crazy doing it. I was standing still on this stage. I'm a little small little boy, and there's a bunch of grown big people out staring at me, recording and stuff. So it's a crazy feeling. But afterwards, after getting a standing ovation and just getting all the genuine love from people coming up to me, it was a feeling like, you know what I'm saying, nothing else on this world. And that's kind of why I chase the music that I do. I'm always chasing that feeling. I feel like you're always chasing that high that you had the first time that you know what I'm saying, break a hit song or you touch the stage in front of 100 people,
So everyone aspires to be the greatest of all time at their craft. That's if they take it seriously. And I can tell in your music, you definitely take it seriously. Who are some people that you believe influenced your particular style of delivery?
A particular style of delivery. That's interesting. There's a handful of people that have influenced me, just as a artist in general, and sonically. But I'd say influenced my delivery. I definitely would have to say Drake for sure. Since the backpack days, high school days, Drake was that dude. But even more so, like, as far as my real lyrical songs, I listened to 3 Stacks. My man Andre 3000. I go deep in the shells, you feel me? And listen to 3 Stacks, Camp Low. A lot of the old rap, that real rap, real lyrical stuff, that's how I keep myself sane when it comes to my real lyrical tracks. That's the only way I can really tap in like that. But as far as like my singing body type tracks, it's definitely like a Drake, a Bryson Tiller, Tory Lanez type of vibe. I like to mix like hip hop and R&B because I feel like the combination is like that classic feel, that classic hip hop era.
If you could do a collab with any artist, dead or alive, money's not an option and there's no limit to who's on the track.
Ooh.
Who would be on the track?
Man, I got excited that question. That's a crazy question right there. Oh man, doesn't matter dead or alive, and this song will be 12 minutes long, man. But let me see. If I could do any track, I would definitely have So I would definitely have 3 stacks on it. Like I just said, my man Andre 3000. I would definitely have Timbaland would produce the track. I would have Missy Elliott on it. I would have Lil Wayne and I would have T-Pain and me, and that would be my track. Fire.
Well, he brought up Teddy Payne, boy. I know that thing gonna be some flames, boy. Yeah. I ain't heard in a minute. All right. So I know right now you kind of on an independent vibe, as most artists start off. If the money was right, the conversation was where it needed to be. Is there any major label that you would like to hear from or sign to?
If the money was right, I wouldn't frown away or shy away from signing to a label much Dreamville. Maybe even Cactus Jack for real. But honestly, I think independent is definitely the route. You know what I'm saying? As long as I can stay independent, I will. Unless the situation is really, really, really perfect. But yeah, hopefully I can just do it all me.
All right. This one here is probably gonna make you think a little bit here. We always ask this question, it seems to bring out the deepest in our hearts. You wake up tomorrow, the phone rings. It's the best call of your career. Tell me who's on the phone and how the conversation goes.
Wow. Okay, so it's the best call of my career, and who is on the phone? I would say, wow, that was such a crazy call. It will probably be Jay-Z, and it will probably be nation contract, label contract type of conversation, and it will probably end with a whole lot of zeros and and a big smile on Dajohn's face. You feel me? But yeah, that would probably be the greatest call of my career.
All right. At this point, as an established artist, are you open to doing features or collabs with upcoming artists or artists who are just getting into the game? And if so, what do they need to have in hand when they get in contact with you in order for you to consider it serious?
Yeah, I am a true indie artist, and I honestly love independent artists, like almost, if not more than probably as much as I love mainstream artists. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like all the music that I listen to is from creators that are on the same level as me. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe even not on my level, like really just getting started. And so I love independent artists, and I'm always open and looking for a collaboration. I think the main thing is, artists, when it comes to independent artists collaborating and working with each other, it's always like this weird kind of energy around talking about numbers and getting paid and all this. It's like, honestly, if we're going to create, I'd really rather just create off of the heart and off of the love of creating music, and let's create something that we both love and we both will benefit from putting out. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to worry about the logistics of it. You feel me? Like, let's just do it for the art. So if anybody wants to create, I'm always down. I'm always open. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So these next questions are more like personal driven, not just not career driven. So we can get to know you as a person versus like as an artist. So I do understand that you have you're an entrepreneur of many sorts. You not only got the music thing going, but you've also got a shoe line and a clothing deal. You want to give us some more information about that and how we can pick up some of that wear? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, of course. So I have a clothing line which is goes under the same name, as a brand of the clothing brand. The shoe brand, sorry. Truly Gifted is the name. I came up with it kind of like spur of the moment, just kind of hit me out of nowhere one day while I was driving, and it basically speaks to all creatives that, it's like there's no other way to describe their talents other than a gift, a gift from a higher power, a higher source. So, Truly Gifted is the name of the brand. Truly Gifted, the label. Truly Gifted Productions is basically like the entire empire that I've created under my belt is Truly Gifted. And that's available if you go on my Instagram, or you can go to Instagram and type in TRLYGFTV at Truly Gifted and trulygifted.kincustom.com. We're going all the way up with it. And I got Truly Gifted Footwear as well, which is a completely different website. But if you go on the Instagram, you will see the footwear there as well. The shoe line kind of wasn't something that I originally planned for, but it kind of happened along the way. I was able to do it, so I thought, why not? And I didn't really expect it to, take off or connect with people in the way that it did. So I'm definitely happy and proud of it, and I'm really just, excited. I hope that I can create something that everybody loves. You feel me?
What's been your biggest mistake so far in life, and what did you learn from it?
I would say my biggest mistake so far in life, it would probably be allowing temporary emotions or feelings to last longer than they should have. You know what I'm saying? I think everything has an equal, or every action has an equal or greater reaction, but at the same time, you have to know when to let certain things go. And I think in the past, I wasn't so quick to doing so. So I feel like now, looking forward, I definitely know, I kind of operate off of the 72-hour rule, which is something that Drake talked about in the interview as well. Basically, you give yourself 72 hours after everything and any incident that happens. Basically, the first day, the next morning you'll wake up mad, and the day after that you'll wake up mad, but the day after that, you'll kind of be over it, or something else will come up, or it'll fade away. So I kind of use that in a way to keep myself sane and to keep myself out of my bag, because everybody wants to be in their bag, but nobody wants to stay in their bag. You feel me?
Hunter, that's a very introspective look, especially coming from a 21-year-old man. You definitely got to keep that way of thinking, because I feel like it'll serve you well, especially with what you're doing. Let's say something comes up, Dajohn's got he's wanted in Australia, he's got a concert, he's got to go, but there's no internet on the flight. You can grab 5 movies to take with you. What are those 5 movies that are going?
5 movies, man, that's crazy. Wow. It's so crazy because, I don't know, I grew up on, TV shows, old classic TV shows, but I definitely do have, a handful of movies that I love. I would say one of those movies had to be Inception. I love that movie, Inception, with my boy Leonardo. Also, with my boy Leonardo, Wolf of Wall Street. I love that movie as well. Let me see. Let me think of another dope one. I love this movie with I'm about to forget my man's name. Ryan something, called Six Underground. It's a super dope movie. It's on Netflix right now, actually. Let me think. I'm trying to think of the ones that I know, really, really changed my perspective on life for real. Man, I'm trying to think of 2 more. Nah, let me throw a funny one in there. I'm gonna throw a funny one in there. Tropic Thunder. I love that movie, man. Just on some comedy shit like that. That movie was always my shit. Tropic Thunder. And let's see, my 5th one gonna have to be another one I love. I'ma just go because I love cartoons. Anybody that knows me for real, like that's all I watch for is cartoons. I'm gonna say Simpsons movie. That's gonna be my fifth one.
You can't go wrong with Bart Simpson. I mean, he might get you in some trouble, but I mean that's Bart, right? So what's a day? I mean, sorry, what's something that you can't go a day without doing?
Let's see, something I can't go a day without doing. Definitely, and it's gonna sound so like like cliche, but like definitely listening to music is probably the number one like fundamental thing. Like if somebody tried to bet me like how long I could last without listening to any music at all, I would definitely go out of my mind before I won that bet. So listening to music probably be the one thing I couldn't go a whole 24 hours without doing.
All right. I feel you there. I'm actually the same way, man. I've got to have some melody playing some point in my day. What would you say is your biggest pet peeve? No matter who commits the foul, and I'm sure you love your mom and dad dearly, but even if they do it, it still rubs you the same way if a stranger does it. What's that one thing that Dajohn just can't, you can't do it. You can't do it.
Let me see. My biggest pet peeve. I think my biggest pet peeve would be like, I really don't like when people basically like kind of, I don't know, basically like assume certain things outside of my truth. So basically, if somebody were to ask me how I feel and I tell them how I feel, but then they don't believe me or thinking other things or I'm feeling other things or, just basically, believing what they perceive as reality instead of what I tell them my truth is as their reality. Like that is like my biggest pet peeve. Because now it's like basically, why did you even ask me if you were just gonna think whatever you wanted to think anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how I personally feel. Like I can't stand when people want to know something about you and then you tell them and they still think what they want anyway. It's like you could, that's that's my biggest pet peeve. But
I got you, bro. So I understand exactly what you mean. So, what are some of your own personal goals in the next 5 years? What are some things you hope to take care of in the next 5 years?
Oh man, in the next 5 years, man, 5 years. In 5 years, I plan on being on tour somewhere, touring an album that is doing, hopefully pretty well, pretty moderately successful, you know what I'm saying? And I hope to be, 5 years from now, I hope to be probably like married and not engaged, with my lady. And hopefully I plan to be, just basically on a complete level up of where I am now, you feel me? New music and new headspace, because I feel like my music has completely changed, like almost 180 from when I first started. But I know within the next 5 years it's going to change from, what it sounds like right now for sure. So I think growth is the main thing that I look forward to in the next 5 years. Yeah, I hope to be planning a tour and touring the world, internationally, hopefully without this growing thing going on. You feel me? But yeah, that's where I hope to be in the next 5 years.
Looks like we've got about 3 more questions, so we're gonna wrap this up. What food, if for some reason, and it could be a whole dish, but if for some reason you had one dish that you could only eat for the rest of your life, what's that one dish?
Man, one dish I could eat for the rest of my life. To be honest, it would probably have to be for the rest of my life. It would probably have to be some soul food for real. If it had to be one dish for the rest of my life, it would probably be like some collard greens, some mashed, not even mashed potatoes, some macaroni, some baked macaroni with sweet potatoes, some honey ham, and some fried chicken probably. I don't know. Probably a good southern plate from my mama or my grandma or something.
Yeah, you made me hungry, bro. You might have to cut this short. So, if your life was a movie or a book, what would the title have to be?
Man, if my life was a movie or a book, what would the title have to be? I think the title would have to be The Dreamer That Never Woke Up. I like that. The Dreamer That Never Woke Up.
Man, you got me about to buy tickets. I think that's one of the deepest titles I've heard. So, all right, if in the future, if we ask to interview you again, would you be willing to come back on the show?
Oh yeah, man. I'd love to do this again, man. I don't even really get into interviews too crazy, but like I'd love to do this, man. Always.
All right. Well, this definitely has been fun. What we're gonna go ahead and do is we normally leave the audience with a track so they can get to know the artist and their work. You want to go ahead and introduce the track, the name of the track, and what you were feeling when you created it?
Yeah, this track right here is called Way Back When, and when I created the track, it was basically like a message or just like just a memo to all the other rappers saying, there was a time where we were actually rapping to rap, you know what I'm saying? We were rapping to spit some bars and to show our lyrical abilities, and I kind of don't feel like we're in a time like that anymore. So it's kind of just reflective and, reminiscent of that time. And it's called Way Back When.
All right. So you heard it here. You heard it here first. This Way Back When track is actually going to be released tomorrow. There's always giving us the exclusive to go ahead and let you guys hear it. So you're getting an exclusive first listen here. And make sure that you show the brother some love. Be on the lookout for this track tomorrow. It's going to be on all major platforms. And show your support, man. Dajohn, thanks, man. It's been great. It's been wonderful, man. I really appreciate your time, boss. God bless.
Of course, man. Peace.
I remember back when. I remember back when them rappers used to make them bars. Now they say they hit makers, but they missed the target. Remember back when? I remember back when. I remember back when the barber shop was a spot when I had the ball fade before I started growing locks. When I walked through the door, I would always get stopped. Then the OG hit me like I know you heard the beat drop off top like, oh man. You can hear how loud we smelling from the hallway. I remember we were flashing pics on Broadway. Known if you ain't afraid to flash them six in broad day. All I say is send them breads of Yahweh. Can't tolerate no fake or if you tryna talk shade. I heard them rumors they be spreading, but it's all claims. Envy dripping on my Fendi and my ball man. They just jealous of our relish cause we outpay. We don't take no off days. Think we better part ways. I ain't pulling up for less than 3 stacks like I'm Andre. Heard you doing big things. Oh, that's what they all say. I'm in hell and smoke until I choke for what the loud say. Surprise all in their eyes when I pull up. I made them jaws say. Only money talk, don't understand me like I talk slang. Ain't my future bright, no looking back on all my dog ways. Rough dog days with dog shades. I spent 100,000 verses, got 1 million to go. No 9 to 5 can make me feel the shit I feel in my soul. Just like it's FIFA, how I'm kicking shit and reaching my goals. They get to shooting like a movie, now I'm facing my foes. What's the purpose of working if it ain't obtaining the dope? We changed the wave so many times, so now we changing the flow. Changing is an understatement, rearranging the code. I keep you rappers in line like I'm arranging the notes. Y'all couldn't sound more like me if you had to pay for my notes. You don't know you're more replaceable than the ring in my nose. You really the one serving all the champagne for my toast. Get your bars up until then, it's just the way that it goes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember back when, yeah. You remember back when, yeah.